From the BBC 15 hours ago, Home Secretary calls damage to statues disgraceful by Tony Grew. Whoa, that's weird, isn't it? It's disgraceful all of a sudden. Wait, strange how it's disgraceful now. Very odd, isn't it? It wasn't disgraceful when this lot were doing it. Yeah, and if you don't remember that was the 2020 BLM riots. That was Edward Colston getting deep sixed by an angry mob of Black Lives Matter protesters. So all this story proves to me is that people like us have been right the whole time, haven't we? There is a pecking order. There's an obvious pecking order to the brand new racial hierarchy of the Western world, and especially the UK, which is more hand-wringing and cringing and self-loathing than most of them. So I think my version of the victim pyramid has been right all along, hasn't it? Blokes who look like me and don't give the granddad a gobble every now and then, they're the bottom rung. In fact, no, they're not on the bottom rung, they're subterranean, all right? Then the LGBT lot, they're in the middle somewhere, and then at the very top, the cherry on top of the victimhood sundae is black, disabled, hair lip, immigrant, roller lesbian. Yeah, if you've got all five, you've basically got the oppression infinity gauntlet. Okay, Yvette Cooper, who's been a snivelling, cringing coward her entire career, weird how she's suddenly found a voice now, isn't it? Reminds me of Bricktop off Snatch.
Shits himself when you put him in a ring. Poke him with a stick, you watch his bollocks grow.
Soon as there's blacks involved, Yvette shits herself when you put her in the ring. But you throw some white trans in there, you watch her bollocks grow. Yvette Cooper has called the vandalism of several statues in Parliament Square, including one of Women's Votes campaigner Millicent Fawcett, disgraceful. It's even confusing me now, isn't it? Are these people lefties or not? The women's voting campaigner, Dame Millicent Fawcett, is being attacked by trans activists. They wouldn't be the same trans activists that people like J.K. Rowling and Posey Parker and everyone else calls misogynists, would they? Because, I mean, surely people getting called misogynists wouldn't be daft enough to smash up a statue dedicated to a women's suffrage campaigner. Surely they wouldn't be that daft, would they? Transgender campaigners gathered on Saturday in front of Parliament to protest against the Supreme Court ruling that biological sex defines a woman for the purposes of the Equality Act. Cooper said she welcomed the Metropolitan Police's investigation and that the government will strengthen the law to better respect and protect important memorials. Unless you're from the continent where there's very, very special rules for them. Unless you're from there, then you can just form an angry mob, pull them off the plinths, fling them in the sea. Easy. Easy. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody got prosecuted for that, did they? Was it because they've got dreadlocks? The force said 7 statues were damaged and they are investigating the incident as criminal damage. No arrests have been made. 7? To drop in the ocean, that. When St. George was being mourned because, career criminals who hold pistols to pregnant women's stomachs, they're obviously worthy of all of our respect. There's another one, the van line. Whoever wrote that on it? How come they use all of the slur terms? The British term for cigarette was always an insult. Now they've started proudly using that one. It's a strange time to be alive, isn't it? Yvette, who's recently had her bollocks poked with a spiky stick, said criminal damage like this, including statues of men and women who fought for freedom, like Winston Churchill, Nelson Mandela and Millicent Fawcett, is disgraceful. It's right the police are investigating. Yeah, weird. Weird that, isn't it? She couldn't give half a shite about Winston Churchill when blokes who looked like Sasha. You do remember Sasha, right? That militant, chippy, spiteful communist, the one who spent all the day slagging off blokes like me and then promptly headbutted a 9mm round that one of her compatriots fired at her. Yeah, you remember her? Now she's got an head like a 50p piece. Apparently that's my fault as well. The Met said its officers were in the area policing Parliament Square, but did not witness the criminal damage take place as the area was densely populated. Oh, aye, that's funny, isn't it? Yeah, they're like cowardly bouncers, the ones who are like generally female bouncers in student pubs who pretend they don't see trouble. Like it's the job of a good doorman to go to it, so pleasant middle-class women don't get punched in the face on a night out and they just pretend it's not happening, just walk away. That's what the coppers do when it's someone they don't want to deal with, isn't it? Just pretend they don't see it. Nothing to see here, governor. And strangely, even the bobbies are coming out against it this time. Stuart Bell said he was leading the policing operation for the protest. It's very disappointing to see damage to 7 statues in the vicinity of the protest. We support the public's right to protest, but criminality like this is completely unacceptable. Unless Idris Elba's doing it. Alright, easy. Bridget Phillipson, disgraceful, no excuse, blah blah. The statue of Dame Millicent by Gillian Wearing is the only statue of a woman in Parliament Square, where others honoured include Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, former Prime Ministers Winston Churchill and David Lloyd George. Brilliant. So the people being branded misogynists have just wrecked the statue of the only woman in Parliament Square. Brilliant. I'll tell you what, pull down the other two, right? What's Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi doing up in a British square? What? Gandhi, he was the enemy, wasn't he, at the time? Rabble-rousing in India when those wonderful, God-fearing redcoats were desperately trying to show them what's what. You know, educate these people. And we built them a nice train station, but do we get any thanks? No. If it wasn't for us robbing the tea from China and planting it all in India, they'd still be skint now, wouldn't they? They should be putting statues. Winston Churchill should have a big statue put up in the middle of Bombay, and they should thank the lucky stars for it. And clearly Gandhi wasn't a good person, because on the Civilization game he just nukes everyone all the time. So Gandhi, definitely not a saint. He shouldn't have a statue. We should put great British heroes up in Parliament Square, shouldn't we? As long as we don't let the Labour Party pick, or they'll have Lord Sewell and Jimmy Savile in Parliament Square. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious, brilliant. Nice to see the Labour government confirming the pecking order for us and doing what the Conservatives did, which genuinely staggers me. It's like none of our leaders play to the base. Trump plays to his base because he's smart. The Tories desperately spent 12 years trying to win the walkover, and I said it numerous times over the last 5 years. What you're doing, you lunatics, you're trying to win over people that despise you, and you're spitting in the face of your base, so you're going to tank in the polls and you're going to lose the next election, because it doesn't matter how much public wokeism you practice. The woke left will never, ever, ever vote for you, Boris, you big fat rice pudding faced albino jellyfish. Never going to happen. And lo and behold, he gets trounced because Conservatives just abandoned the party. And now Starmer is doing that Kamala Harris thing where he's trying to be simultaneously woke, but also strangely conservative and on the side of law and order, depending upon the day of the week or the protest at hand. It doesn't make any sense. These people are completely mental. Keir Starmer's got more faces than Man-E faces off He-Man, and I think he had like 8, didn't he? Crazy time to be alive. Doesn't make any sense. But again, at least the minuscule black community in the UK is having their position cemented on the Iron Throne for all the world to see. So I love that. Statues only matter when the people smashing them up are a little bit pasty. All right? We all knew it. It's nice to have it confirmed. Thank you for that, Yvette. Much appreciated. All right, that's me for the day, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.